All right. Well, that was no good. That was absolutely no fun at all. So the game started off, and it was clear almost immediately that the Mavs were completely discombobulated. You know, you hear Luka and other players talk about not coming out with the right energy sometimes. Well, this time it looked like they didn't have the right strategy or the right personnel on the floor. So I'll just kind of go over some of my notes quarter by quarter, right? They're just kind of hand scribbled down here. I'm also doing 100 highlights and things like that. There weren't 100 highlights tonight, but I'm doing a lot during the game. And so I've just got my very first note is Gafford sad face. And then I've got KP exclamation mark 3 times, right? Like, it's just like, oh man, Gafford is... We all know he's not the starter next year, right? We all know that. Kid is sticking with him for continuity's sake, to not throw players off. You know, Gafford's used to being a starter right now. Lively's used to coming off the bench right now. But guys, the defense is in trouble when we are counting on Daniel Gafford to make smart defensive decisions. I said it a few weeks ago, and I got buried. And I said it in a moment of frustration, and I'm sure there was a nicer way to say it. I'll say it this way. I don't think Daniel Gafford is a good defender. Let's just say it like that, right? Let's not make it personal. I don't think he thinks defense well. I think he thinks shot block, shot block, shot block, and occasionally grab a rebound. But he is not a thoughtful defender. That is the nicest way I can think to say it right now. And he is going to bite for your pump fakes, and you are going to fly right by him if he's coming on the closeout. And the team defense struggles against smart offenses when Gafford is the backline defense. When he's the man we're relying on in the backline, the defense doesn't have a chance. It's kind of what I just want to say. Against smart offenses, which the Celtics clearly are, it's going to struggle. It's going to be a struggle, right? He's just going to give up too many plays. The Celtics only scored 107 tonight. So it's not like, now, with 5 minutes left, everyone kind of just pulled their best players. So I almost can't talk about this too much. It is, to me, the pounding drum in the back of my mind when I watch the Mavericks play is I don't like the defense nearly as much when D-Live or Maxey are not in the game and when we're relying on Daniel Gafford as our backline defense. I just don't like it. Luka came out, had a really solid game. We'll look at those stats in just a second. Kyrie deserves a lot of raised eyebrows tonight. I think it was 6 for 19 from the field. Guys, that's worse than 33%. That is an absolute refusal to show up in a big moment. He could have come out and he could have put his stamp on this game. And he may still, I believe he probably still will put his stamp on the series. But he could have come out in game one and put his stamp on this series. Like, hey, you hate me, the feeling's mutual, but I am here to tear your heart out. And instead, we just got that just ineffective, lazy with the ball. I don't know how many turnovers he had. Maybe it was only 1 or 2, but there was just times where he was just dribbling in circles around there. Like, KP is long and tall, and they made him look like Dikembe Mutombo and Wemby all wrapped in one tonight. Like, I was really hopeful that Gafford would thrive against someone like KP in the times where he's matched up with him. I know it all gets cross-matched out at the wazoo. But, I was really thinking, this is someone he can bully. This is someone who he is clearly stronger than. This is someone who he can dominate. And with all the smalls they put on the bigs, I was just shocked that the Mavs didn't try to exploit that. I mean, go to it again and again and again. Derek Lively is clearly, this is where we see his 20-year-old self kind of really come into play. Is the ball slips through his fingers. He's got good hands, but he's just not always ready. And there's a few plays where he just isn't ready to attack the cup and gets the ball knocked out of him by Kristaps' bony butt flying into him. Of course, no foul, right? But that play is there again and again and again, where it's Brown or Tatum or White on our bigs, sometimes Holiday on our bigs in the paint. And I don't understand why the Mavs wouldn't try to exploit that over and over and over again. Obviously, Gafford and Lively are not Jokic down there. They're not just going to one-on-one destroy a mismatch, right? But I think the buckets are there. I think the plays are there. So in the second quarter, I said, Kyrie had a nice lefty hook that was one of his 6 makes. I have just this written down in the second quarter. Stop being dumb. And then a note that I had that really just discourages me to read right now is we are getting outclassed. Just getting outclassed. From a coaching perspective, it just didn't seem like we had much of a plan, much of a strategy. We know exactly what these guys like to do, and yet still we gave up open 3 after open 3 after open 3 after open 3, especially when Gafford was on the floor. He just doesn't understand what's needed of him. He doesn't understand how to rotate. Luka was balling at the half. He was 7 of 14 from the field for 17 points. He ended the game with 30 points. I don't want to read the rest of these notes. I'm too upset. All right. I'm just not happy. So we're just gonna. Here's the thing. Here's some stats. Right. Where am I? There we go. All right. So here's the thing. The Mavs shot 40% from the field and 24% from 3. You might go, wow, that amazing Boston defense. No, man. I mean, they're a solid defensive team. They really are. But if you watched game 1 and didn't come away with, oh man, the Mavs should have delivered a lot more on those easy wide open looks that they just clank, 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 clank. At one point in the fourth quarter, Luka had 1 assist. Is it because Luka didn't pass the ball to his teammates? No. 1 assist. And Kyrie at the time had the team lead of 2 assists. The shooting was just embarrassing tonight. They need to go and have the coaches play for them all of these wide open misses. Just clank after clank after clank after clank, and it was not the same for the Celtics. The Celtics were shooting, by the end of the game, they shot 40% from the field, 39%, 16 for 41. Yeah, 24% to 40%. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do it. That's a game right there. That's one team showing up and the other team not showing up. I don't even want to talk about how unbelievably scorching hot KP was in the first half. That first half is one of the best halves. It's definitely, considering the stage he's on, the best half of basketball he's played in his life. So good for him, right? He didn't shrink. He didn't shrink in the moment. He stepped up and was just blazing hot. Just absolutely incredibly hot from the field. Mavs 10 turnovers, Celtics 11. So a push there. 39 to 44 rebounds. We get out rebounded. 8 assists. As a team, 8 assists. I mean, that number one, that's how atrocious you're shooting the ball. But that also just shows that you were out of sorts. Well, the Mavs are not a high assist team, but 8 assists is not NBA basketball. You don't think Jason Kidd's going to see that, Mr. Assists himself? 8 assists to their 21. 21's not a lot, but 21 compared to 8. Just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. All right, so they had 9 blocks to our 1. Defensive rebounds, they got us by 6. Offensive rebounds, we got them by 1. Points off of turnovers. What's up? What's up? What's wrong with Kai? Tonight he did not show up. He did not show up at all. Points in the paint, the Mavs dominated. That they could have had, I'm telling you, if the game plan was thoughtful, they could have had another 16 points in the paint. And that's like easy points. Easy points. Now, that does mean that our bigs will probably end up at the free throw line a lot. You know, they probably will. But there is a mismatch there that the Celtics are just daring you to take advantage of. And the Mavs tonight just refused to. 4 fast break points. To 10. So neither team was running, and then second chance points, the Mavs win that. So I know his stands out there will find a reason not to be critical, but this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. 36 minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 19 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. 2 assists, yeah, but 3 turnovers, negative 19 on the night. And this is an example of single game plus minus kind of telling the story. Kyrie was horrible. He was horrible tonight. For as good as he was in the last series and for as good as he's been so often in this awesome playoff run, Kyrie coming out so bad. And it wasn't like, yeah, his shot wasn't falling, but at least he was contributing. No, he was just atrocious tonight. He was atrocious defensively. He was dribbling the ball off his foot. And then, of course, the shot was just absent. Just absolutely betrayed him. It looked like the moment was too much for him going back onto that home court, his enemy territory, for his former home team, where they hate him and they hate him. And man, it was almost like the fans could barely muster up the boos by the end of by the end of the third quarter. It was like, why boo this guy? He's not a threat. And they know he is. We know he is. But tonight, he didn't know he is. Tonight, his shot just betrayed him and unfortunately betrayed us. What's up, William? William says shooting was atrocious, but I think the first person to blame is Kidd. He kept going small. The last travel was embarrassing. The travel on Kyrie, yeah. And that was right after the travel on Lively. And both of them traveled. Those are travels, right? Like I'm watching the replay, zooming in. Oh, yeah, those are travels. Yeah, those are. Now, they'll often let big guys get away with it because they do move their feet a lot. But those were fine calls. You know, those were fine calls. Kyrie, 12 points in game 1 of the finals on worse than 33% shooting, 0 for 5 from 3, no free throws taken. You don't need to say a lot more, right? You don't need to say a lot more. But let's give props to the guy who did show up. Now, this is not a great game from Luka. We know that. 38 minutes, 30 points. Yeah, man, we need more from Luka. But at least 12 for 26 from the field. I mean, yeah, even 4 for 12 from 3 is not very good. And then 2 for 5 on your free throws, man. I think he's shooting in the 80s throughout this playoff run. I think it was like 82, 84%, something like that. 2 for 5, just back to those bad habits. So yeah, not a good night. I'm going to look at this: 30 points, 10 rebounds. As much as I love Luka Doncic, and say, yeah, we need more. This is not enough. Now, this is not. I don't blame him for the assists because his teammates betrayed him tonight. His teammates got the tight sphincters tonight and couldn't hit a shot, couldn't hit wide open looks tonight. But we need more from Luka, and that's clear. That's clear. We need more from both our superstars. And let me just say this again. Boston plays good defense. There were so many good looks for the Mavs tonight. So many missed wide open looks for the Mavs tonight that I don't come away from this game like, oh man, the Celtics are just too much. Now if KP plays the rest of the series like he played the first 2 quarters, yeah, I mean, it's okay. How do you stop that, right? How do you stop that other than just some outrageous gimmick defense or something like that? Like, he was just unbelievably good, but that's not who he is. He was just scorching hot, and he came back to earth in the second half, right? I'm just disappointed in my team tonight. I mean, the Celtics did what they do. They hit open threes, and the Mavs were apparently determined to give them open threes tonight. Just seemed like they were incapable of keeping anyone in front of them. And then when they got beat, the Celtics got them in rotation, wide open three, again and again and again and again. Where was the defensive pride of this team? You might go, oh, this Celtic, this is a different bunch. No. Now, are they better than the Timberwolves? Sure. Are they way better than the Thunder? I don't think so. I mean, like, where is the defensive pride to keep your man in front of you? There were so many times where the Celtics just easily dribbled past their initial defender, got the ball in rotation, and ended up with a wide open three. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. The defensive intensity. You know, we've heard people use this phrase a lot about the Mavs. The whole Mavs defense is on a string. They're just one guy's got the other guy's back. Not tonight, man. Not tonight at all. And a whole lot of that, I'm just going to say, is it's got to be coaching. Coaching what didn't have them prepared for that. And then also, Daniel Gafford's not a good defender. He's probably not the guy for this series, which is sad because he should abuse them down low. He should be able to almost not score at will because he's not skilled enough for that, but he should be able to be better than he was tonight. And instead, it was pretty ugly. Williams says, I still feel good, just settle down. Yeah, they clearly were scared out there, which is so disheartening. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that, you know, that one team will come out scared. It's just, man, why does it have to be our team, you know? I mean, we're playing on their home court. They have more finals experience, of course, yada, yada, yada. But, like, man, I just did not like what I saw tonight from the defensive effort. They will have to figure that out ASAP. The shooting will come around. They missed so many open looks. The shooting will come around, and Kyrie, of course, will come around. And Luka can be way, way better and needs to be way better than even he was tonight. But the defense was my concern. The defense just looking lost. From one game to the next, I know it was a week apart, right? But like just from that series against the rest of the playoffs, right? Against the Clippers, against the Thunder, and against the T-Pups. Like, the idea is the defense was so together. And I've been saying this again and again and again, is that the offense might fail us, right? But the defense will be there every night. Not tonight. Tonight, the Mavs unfortunately proved me wrong. I said you could always bet on their defense being great or elite. And tonight, their defense was bad. And there's no other way around it. So there's kind of just some of the stats right there if you want to look at it. Jaylen Brown, 7 for 12. Jason Tatum, 6 of 16. Let's see here. What am I doing? Yeah. Al Horford, 4 for 8. Derek White, 5 for 11. No one goes off. Drew Holiday, 4 for 9. Kristaps, 8 of 13, and most of that was in the first half. They shot fine. They shot well. But not just some unbelievable, like, well, no one could ever beat this team. Heck no. The Mavs looking like they looked is the embarrassment of tonight. That's the story to me, is the way the Mavs came out and the way the Mavs looked and the way this team refused to execute and the way they wouldn't take advantage of the Celtics' defensive mistakes, the way they missed open shots. That's the story tonight to me. And that's a good story because the Mavs can bounce back, because I do trust in Luka and I do trust in Kyrie. And I have good reason to believe in this Mavs defense. You want some ugly numbers now? All right, here you go. How's this? Derrick Jones 2 for 9. How many times did Derrick Jones drive into 3 defenders? How many times did a Maverick just drive into Kristaps and say like, "Hey, tall guy, what's up? I'm gonna just throw the ball up here." If you're gonna go into KP, you got to put a body in him and fade away, or you got to put a body in him and outmaneuver him. You can't just charge into him. For whatever his weaknesses are, straight line drives right into him as a defender, that's what he's good at. He's got that in his bag. If you're going to drive straight into him, he's going to put those long arms up and he's going to block your shot. Yeah, and he got away with a bunch of fouls too that didn't get called, right? So Derrick Jones 2 for 9. PJ 5 for 11. Daniel Gafford 3 for 3. He's going to always have a super high field goal percentage. Kyrie there 6 for 19. Luka 12 for 26, not good enough. Lively 1 for 1. I think we missed both his free throws. Hardy, this is not going to be a series for him. He's just outclassed out there. 3 for 7. I mean, his ability to create a shot is not going to be a strength in this series. We need guys who can defend out there. We need someone like Josh Green. If you consider him a defender, I would want to see much more of Exum. So the Mavs were just atrocious tonight. Just really, really bad. So I asked you guys online, what are you thinking after tonight? And you guys in the chat, let me know, what are you thinking after tonight? So William said you're feeling good for the rest of the series. I love hearing that. I need those silver linings right now. So thank you, William, for that. Let me know, what are you guys feeling? And then let's look and see what some of our brethren are feeling about tonight's game. Oh, no. 60 replies. Oh, this is going to be a lot of frustration. There's probably not going to be a lot of silver linings here. Maybe they are. Maybe they'll surprise me, right? Maybe Twitter and the Mavs faithful will surprise me. What are you thinking after that? Jordan says Kyrie has to make them pay for leaving them open, or this series is over. Fact. Mr. Wright, we all love Derrick Jones Jr., but he can't be our starting small forward next year. If he is, we have got to trade THJ's contract for another scorer. We are far too reliant on Luka and Kyrie, what they can do, and if either one of them are off, I'll say we are cooked. Yeah. Derrick Jones Jr. is an awesome player, right? An awesome story, an awesome guy. And I want him back. But he needs to deliver. 2 for 9. And not like, oh, he just missed a bunch of threes. 2 for 9 just charging into a center, expecting to get a call or something? No, man. You were a dunker. And you can occasionally attack a closeout. You're good at that. But just driving into a center who's just waiting for you, that is not your game, DJJ. Chase says, Game 1 vibes from OKC. Okay, yeah, I like that. Good perspective there, Chase. Kyrie won't shoot that bad again. We pray not. Lively will get his lobs. They are out there, aren't they? I can't believe how few times they tried to attack the pick and roll or the cross match. Right? I can't believe how few times Luka tried to throw it up to D-Live. Now there was a couple where he missed it. There was one where either Kyrie or Derrick Jones threw it way over him, and he could have had a dunk, but like. Where's my boy Luka feeding D-Live? Right, Luka makes D-Live on offense, and tonight he just didn't. And I think D-Live could easily average between 10 to 14 points in this series with having guys like Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's a hoss. Drew Holiday's a great defender. Derek White's a great defender. They are 8 inches or more shorter than Derek Lively. He should be able to score over them when he's 3 feet from the hoop, right? He just should. It's the NBA. You got to be able to do that. Mitch says, have to make open shots. Heck yeah. Adjust the game plan. Less perimeter pressure to cut out the straight line drives. Oh, look. Mitch got like an actual plan here. Mitch is actually doing some coaching here. Kai needs to play like a second option. Yeah, not like he did tonight. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I don't come away from this game tonight going like, there's no hope. There's no hope. I just want my Mavericks back. That's what I want. I just want to see my Mavs. Wendell says Lively needs to calm down and get that 3 going for next season. Yeah, that's at least a season away. He's our center, but KP had him stressed out with his insane shooting, and we needed him to stretch the floor. Yeah, he was playing way too up on KP. KP's not going to very often beat you from the perimeter unless you play up that tight on him. Now, can he get off the shot? Yeah, he can. Can he get off the shot anyways? Yeah, he can. And if you play that physically, eventually you're going to force the ref's hand to call a whistle. Like that was one of the few times in rookie Lively's career where he really looked kind of like, in the last like 30 games at least, where he really looked like a rookie. Where you're like, oh yeah, that's stupid. I wonder if a coach told him to be that physical, because like if you play that physical on a perimeter player, they will eventually make the call. They'll have to, like, because it's just out there in front of God and everybody. Lionel says every time, or Ali says, let's start with Ali. We're good. I believe Kai and the Mavs will make adjustments. Yeah, they better. Leonil says, every time the Mavs had a long rest, this happens, but they're going to adjust. All right, I like that perspective. Ryan says, what's up, Ryan? They won't be that good again. We won't be that bad again. I'm all right. Going to be the longest 2 days of my life waiting for Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. Family First says, Kid may want to consider starting Lively and Kleber. Bring Jones and Gafford off the bench. He's not going to do that. Yeah. The things he could do, he's not going to do that unless it's desperation mode. He's not going to change the starting lineup. Coaches don't like to do that to players. Players are creatures of habit, creatures of routine, and when you throw them off their routine, it's usually not awesome. I mean, sometimes it works, but it's often not working. Jonah Heim says, we can hang with this team. Yeah, we can. I don't care. Coming back from 29 down to bring it to 8 shows so much resilience, but we need more contested shots. Yeah, they were just hitting those wide open looks. It's disgusting. And need to hit our shots, our wide open looks. Yeah, don't give them so many wide open and hit the ones we get, right? Luka will create the wide open looks, right? He will. Sorry. Sports Card Wave says we lost by more to the Thunder in Game 1, so I'm holding out hope. Like that perspective. SPE says, what I thought, this final will have no history. Ooh, I don't know what that means. Pulong, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Pulong or Pulang says Kyrie needs to do better. Absolutely. Mavs need Luka and Kyrie to be great to have a chance. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Adam says they weren't going to sweep. I hope the game grew them up a little bit. Yeah, and woke them up a little, right? I hope woke the coaches up a little bit. PJ Washington and DJJ got to make them easy looks. Yeah. And PJ wasn't bad tonight. I think it was like 5 for 11. And some of that came like him being tough. And I appreciated that. Like some of that came because, like smaller guys like Drew were on him. And he's like, I'm just going to keep backing you down. And I'm going to try to get this ball up, right? One Deep Rich Gasson says Gafford can't play this series. D-Live needs to start, and Kyrie. Come on, Kyrie. Yeah. I'm not sure he can't play, but I don't believe in him as a defender, and I've been saying that since the regular season. Or I started saying that at the end of the regular season, even though the Mavs were playing so well, I was like, this defense really comes together when D-Live's out there. Austin says not moved. On to Game 2. I like it. Oh man, you guys. Hey, nice. You guys are giving me some silver linings. I like that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Honoro? Sorry about that. We need LeBron James' experience. I think we're okay. Cricksful says they're playing straight up, and Luka are expecting double, so they're kind of off on shooting in the first half. Though they were just horrible. Yeah, their shooting was horrible, and Kyrie needs to step up big. Yeah, Dante Exum, #1 fan. Man, can you find your boy? Find your boy. Nothing positive whatsoever. Yeah, not a lot of positive except that it can get a whole lot better, and we know that it will, and that it has to. Mavs won second half by 3 points. Hey, that's a legitimate silver lining, except when you're up huge, you take your foot off the gas. But yeah, that's a good thing to point out. McCoy says we got to win Game 2 or it's over in 5. Wendell says, come on, Game 2. Kyrie needs to be offended. Roll guys need to slow their roll. Okay, not be so aggressive on the shots maybe. Lively needs to calm down on KP. Yeah, and I'd like to see Lively get some good looks. ABC says, honestly, nothing. It's Game 1, and we saw worse against the Clippers and Thunder. Kyrie just has to play decent, and we win in 6. Oh, win in 6. I like it. I had the Mavs in 6, by the way. Lively needs to be smarter with the fouls. Yeah, there were some dumb fouls from the rookie tonight. I agree. Very rarely have we ever said that since the first 20 games of the season. But, yeah, there were some dumb rookie fouls tonight. I'm okay with Lively coming off the bench if Boston continues to play KP off the bench. Okay. So you like that matchup better. And I like the Maxey and Lively on KP much better than having Gafford out there. Like the Mavericks and Celtics are both who we thought they were, maybe. The guys have to help Luka in scoring. They all look like they lacked confidence out there, that's for sure. Omax should be getting garbage time instead of Powell. Powell should never see the floor. Oh, man. What did Powell do? Powell's our 12th man or whatever. Okay, all right, I got you. You got your. I want to see Omax too. I don't know if I want to see him in the finals. I want to see him a whole lot next year. Bruh says we got game 2, standing on business. Like that. Fezzik says easy. Mavs always lose game 1. It was expected. We made a run to cut it to 8. Didn't have enough in the tank to capitalize. Boston shot too good from 3, and we missed a ton of shots. At one point, we had just 6 more 3-point shots, and it would have been tied. Okay, I'm not sure I follow all of that, but yeah, the Mavs did pull it into 8, right? They pull it within 8. Eric says, "What's up, Eric?" Eric says, "We're good. We couldn't have played worse. I'm not sure how much they would have played better." Mr. G&G, hey, Mavs in 5. Okay, I like your confidence. I would not have the Mavs in 5 after a game 1 that looked like that, but I did predict Mavs in 6, so I'll stick with that. Our alley-oop game is missing. Yeah, and I think some of that is due to Boston. They get some credit there, but some of that is we didn't look for it. And even if it's not alley-oops, the cross matches are giving the advantage to our bigs down low. If you say like, oh, Holiday's guarding Gafford 17 feet from the cup, I'd be like, yeah, that's not advantage Gafford. But Gafford or Lively being a foot or 2 from the cup and having those shorter like White or Holiday on them, we've got to be able to take advantage of that. We've got to be able to punish them for that. The Real Deal says Mavs lost by 18. Here's why: Kyrie 12 points, PJ 14 points, Gafford 8 points, DJ 5 points. Yeah, so just the low scoring. Yeah, the shooting was atrocious. Though I thought PJ played a decent offensive game tonight, to be fair to PJ. Just one game. I like that, Fabio. I like that perspective. 3 rebounds from Gafford is a crime. Yeah. Mavs in 6. I like that. Daniel Doom with glimpses of hope. Oh, we got a poet on our hands from Daniel over here. 200 damage says, pray that Boston misses a 3. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But it might be nice for the Mavs to defend a 3. That's really my answer. You can't ask your opponent to miss. You have to go make them miss. You have to make it hard for them to make a shot. They're too good as shooters to leave open, and the Mavs were determined to leave them open, especially in Daniel Gafford's minutes. We are powerless against this Boston. No assist. I refuse that mindset. Tonight we played poorly. Absolutely. Sports fan. It's game 1. Getting it back to an 8-point game after being down 29 is encouraging. Yeah, that was a lot of Luka, a little bit of Kyrie. Also, Derek Lively helping the defense, right? Just can't dig themselves into that deep of a hole, yeah. And by the way, this is what I watched a whole bunch, probably like you guys. I watched a whole lot of Celtics podcasts, and they're like, this is what we do. We get out huge, and we just bury people in the first and second quarter. And that's what they did to us. So let's not go out there thinking we're something super special. What the Celtics did to us tonight is what they have done to teams all year long. They bury you in the first and second quarter and make it hard for you to come back with their shooting, right? Yeah, Scott says it's just game 1. Ty G says 1 game. No panic yet. Benjamin says just chilling. Still Mavs in 6. That's me too. Mavs in 6. They'll make the adjustments. We win the next 3. They take 1 more. Then we close it out in Dallas. I like it. Ty says Kyrie will be back. Hey, he better be, man. He better be, or it's over already. If we don't get Luka and Kyrie at their apex, at their best, if we don't get the best of Luka and Kyrie, we're not going to win. I don't say that as a pessimist or a cynic. I love these guys, and I love this team. I bleed Mavericks green. You may go, that's not their base color anymore. It is and always will be for me. I bleed Mavericks green. And so it doesn't come out of like pessimism or cynicism or disdain. I love the Mavericks. I love them more than I probably should, right? And if we don't get the best of Luke and Kyrie, this series is over. It's over. Tatum was bad tonight, and they beat us by a million, right? Brown was good tonight, and he scored 22? What did Brown score? Yeah, 22. Brown scored 22, and Tatum scored less than 20. Yeah. If we don't get the best of Luke and Kyrie, this series is over. And I don't say, like I said, that's just, I believe that's a fact. But I also believe that we can get the best of Luka and Kyrie. Piotr says, we're winning game 2. Potential is there, but everyone except for Luka was shooting bricks. Luka also wasn't great tonight. I think he was 4 for 12 from 3 or something like that, and then 12 for 26 from the field. But you're right. He was way better than everybody else. Ivar says, the whole team except Luka needs to be more efficient on the attack. Yeah, and I would want Luka to be a little better too. But yeah, the rest of the team was atrocious. You're right. TR says, it's socked on to game 2. Heck yeah. KP is still soft. I believe it. There's a way to attack him and make him uncomfortable. Maybe he's grown. I don't know. On to game 2, Rapid Wolf. Casey, Mavs in 6. I love it. KP was never really hurt. He's just waiting for the Mavs. I'm in danger. That's what it feels like after that game, right? But I believe in our boys. I believe in them. Souza says Mavs in 6. Wendell says, oh, stop offensive rebounds. Yeah, there was a stretch in the first half where they got so many offensive rebounds. It was insane and embarrassing. Michael says, not great, Bob. Hopefully they can make adjustments and come out better in game 2. They will, absolutely. And KP will not look like that again. Bro, please, they're saying you're a fraud. Who's saying Kyrie's a fraud? A fool. Only a fool, Samuel. Would be saying Kyrie's a fraud. But yeah, I'm sure that Twitter is ablaze tonight. What's up, TGK? I'm not sure if you're still around. Game 1. We've been here before. Yeah, we've been here before. That's right. We've been here before. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Game 1's out of our system. I think it's a fair bet to say they won't be as hot as they were this game. I mean, it was really at the end only 40% from 3. But that first half, they just buried us. I think it's fair to say KP won't do this again. I think it's fair to say, what's up, TGK? Let me know what you're thinking, man. What are you feeling right now? You can be my silver linings, or I know you see things positively sometimes, and so maybe I need your help. But I am too. I'm positive. I don't feel too bad. We've seen them play these kind of games before. TGK, do you agree that we need Luka and Kyrie at their best? Or this series is over? That's kind of what I'm feeling. I kind of came into the series feeling that. Now, I don't mean the best game they've ever played, like Luka scoring 73 and Kyrie in the 50s. I just mean we just need them good games, like B+ to A level games from Luka and Kyrie every game in this series. And today we got a B or B- Luka game and an F level Kyrie game, right? It felt like about a B- Luka game and an F from Kyrie tonight. F's in the chat, right? We have to give the Mavs grace. It's a first 97% of the Mavs. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a first experience for them. Yeah, for sure. I'm a little more frustrated with the strategy, right? The idea that they kept getting us into rotation, and this defense that's been on a string the whole playoffs and to close out the season was just bamboozled. It felt like it's like they forgot how to play that tight-knit defense tonight. And I give the Celtics credit, but I also think the Mavericks' nervousness just rattled them. I don't know if you saw the halftime speech from Kidd, but he said something along the lines of, this isn't us, or this is just basketball. And you could tell he's like, guys, what happened? He didn't say it that way because he's not going to talk to his players like that. Rick probably would, right? But Kidd won't do that because he loves them and he wants to encourage them. But he was literally like, this is not us. Just get back to playing basketball. He's like, so basically what he's saying is, in that first half, you guys weren't playing basketball. You weren't playing our basketball. You were playing Mavericks basketball. And so the fact that the defense was astoundingly bad in that first half, that was the biggest kind of oh no. Because we've seen Kyrie have bad games. We've seen Luka have mid games, like a mid Luka game, still 30 and 10, right? But yeah, we've seen the support players not show up like they did tonight. But yeah, it is the defense that was most unsettling to me. The defense was most unsettling. Boston in 4. Wow, 11. You found me. Wow, 11. Well, thanks, man. Boston in 4. Mavs trash. Man, They're in the finals, my guy. They're in the finals. And they beat 4 50-win teams to get here, or 3 50-win teams to get here. Not trash. Not trash. Your team's also not trash, though. It's just one game at the end of the day. Yeah, absolutely. And that's how we know Luka thinks like that. I'm assuming Kyrie has that kind of reset ability to kind of just start over. The thing I don't know is he has historically, since leaving Boston, been really bad in Boston. And so I'm hoping that's just some weird anomaly and not a psychological trend, right? Because we're humans. Things get in our heads. Things make us uncomfortable, right? Things just get in our craw and make us a little uncomfortable. And so I'm hoping that he's going to, I know he's a smart guy. I'm hoping he's going to come out mentally tough in game 2 and just be the Kyrie Irving that we know and love, right? Yeah, absolutely. So the Mavs defense was embarrassing tonight. We know they're a great defensive team, and they're one of the best defensive teams in the entire league. Boston didn't really do anything special. There were a lot of open looks that the Mavs just bricked. We gave them a lot of open looks, to their credit, and they made them, right? And they made some tough contested looks too. Like, so tip your cap. When a guy makes a contested 3, or when a guy's just in fuego like KP was for an entire half, you just kind of go, oh, okay, well, cool. You made a contested shot. But I would say the majority of their shots, the threes that they made, were in rotation and were wide open. And we've seen the Mavs be a great defensive team in rotation. But tonight it was really like they were nervous. Their support players especially. And then I don't know what's going on with Kyrie. All right, so I'm excited. I'm bummed that I had to put the poop emoji on the thumbnail, but a poop emoji was deserved. Kyrie's going to be worlds better. Luka's going to be significantly better. Our support players are going to step up. I'm sure that the Mavs coaches saw all of especially watching the film, they're going to see all of the easy buckets that we just didn't even attempt to have around the rim when we had like Drew Holiday on Gafford or Drew Holiday on Lively or Derek White on our bigs. Like, those should be easy buckets, or at the very least they should be fouling us and we're putting them in foul trouble, right? Like, our bigs should be able to convert against guys that small when they're the only one on the cross match in the paint right next to the cup. So what's up, D-Star? They made the right adjustments in the second half, but the foul trouble cost them. And then they just stopped hitting shots, right? So for the game, yeah, they made some nice adjustments. The defense picked up a little bit in the second half. The Celtics understandably took the foot off the pedal a little bit in the second half. And they cooled off because they were hot in that first half, right? It could have happened just as easily where the Mavs were super hot and the Celtics were a little cool, right? That could have happened. But the Celtics are the better shooting team. You know, don't get that twisted. The Celtics are the better shooting team between the two. Oh my gosh, one of my notes was just like the obvious one that I write every game, which is they have no answer for Luka. Luka's just like obliterating every matchup. He's just walking past Brown. He's just walking past Tatum. And and it's not like, well, the Celtics were just intentionally letting Luka do that. No. They were trying to D up. They got no answer. There's no Lou Dort over there. You know what I'm saying? There's no Lou Dort that had to make Luka really, really work. Luka didn't shoot well tonight, and so maybe you give the Boston defense a little credit, right? But Luka, when he gets hot, is going to obliterate them. He is going to obliterate them. And now, if you're a Boston fan, you're looking at the stats and going like, well, we shot well, but Tatum didn't even have a good game, and Brown only scored 22, and we still blew them out. You know, that's what you're saying if you're a Boston fan. And that kind of makes sense. But if you're a Mavs fan, you're saying all the things we're saying, which is, man, we came up like mental midgets tonight. Our support players, the stage rattled them, it seemed like. They couldn't hit open shots. We were determined to throw soft attempts into KP's verticality like idiots. Kyrie, I mean, hopefully it was just a bad game. Kyrie had a horrifically bad game, and Luka didn't have a great game. So we shot like crap. They shot like gold. We can be better. We will be better. We must be better. And they're probably not going to get much hotter than they were in that first half. And we still made a game of it there for a little while. So I'm not trying to bury my head in the sand. Boston looked like the better team tonight. but we know the team we saw tonight was not our Mavericks. So until game 2, you guys have a good one. Let's fix this thing. All right? You know they're better than they were tonight. Go Mavs.